To resurrect the Heavenly Flame Elder, a body is being refined. Whose body did Xiaoyan use in the end? The story continues from the last episode. To escape the predicament of being hunted by Binhe Valley, Xiaoyan decides to refine a body for the Heavenly Flame Elder. Xiaoyan has been refining the Yin-Yang soul pill for 6 days now. 100 meters away from the boulder, Xiaoyan and the others watch the cauldron intently. The medicinal energy inside the cauldron grows more intense, signaling that the pill is nearing completion. Just as Xiaoyan was about to speak, the cauldron trembled, and a crisp, humming sound echoed throughout the valley. Following the hum, a surge of intense medicinal energy erupted from the cauldron like a volcano, spilling forth. Soon, the entire valley was filled with the refreshing scent of medicinal herbs, indicating that the pill was close to being finished. Although the Yin-Yang soul pill is a top-tier 7th-grade pill, it isn't too difficult to refine, especially for Xiaoyan, who had helped Tang Zhen refine the fire-burning pill previously. The process went unexpectedly smoothly this time, with no mistakes during the refining. As the medicinal energy surged, Xiaoyan opened his narrowed eyes, a trace of satisfaction appearing on his face. The energy grew more vigorous, almost piercing through the poisonous mist in the sky. Attracted by the dense medicinal energy, dark clouds gathered in the sky. Xiaoyan's eyes filled with joy. The medicinal lightning, feared by most alchemists, was something Xiaoyan eagerly anticipated. Whenever his puppet was tempered by medicinal lightning, its strength increased significantly. Last time, it had become strong enough to rival an 8-star Daozong. As Xiaoyan summoned his puppet, the dark clouds in the sky halted, twisting and distorting before gradually dissipating. The sudden disappearance of the medicinal lightning poured cold water on Xiaoyan's excitement. Staring at the remnants of the clouds, he let out a bitter laugh, puzzled by how the medicinal lightning could dissipate on its own. Xiaoyan and the others were equally stunned by the scene. After some thought, Xinlan loudly suggested that the poison in the Luo Shen sword might be too thick, concealing the medicinal energy and preventing the lightning from finding its target, which is why it dissipated. Xiaoyan nodded in agreement. Upon reflection, he understood that the concealment by the poison was part of the reason, but another factor was that the Yin-Yang soul pill was not potent enough to trigger medicinal lightning. Although the pill is considered top-tier 7th grade, it barely qualifies as such. If not for its unique properties, it would likely be classified as a low-level 7th grade pill. Therefore, the medicinal energy it emitted was insufficient to trigger the lightning, and the poison concealing it caused the lightning to dissipate soon after appearing. Cursing his bad luck, Xiaoyan waved his hand, and the black and red pill inside the cauldron flew into his grasp. The pill was about the size of a dragon's eye, with a glossy black and red surface. It was smooth and lustrous, with one side cool and the other warm to the touch. Extremely comfortable, Xiaoyan let out a clear breath with a smile, but his expression soon turned serious. With the pill successfully refined, the next step was to begin the process of refining a body. Waving his hand, a corpse covered in ice flashed and appeared. This corpse was Yun Shan from Yunlan sect, originally prepared for Yao Lao, but Xiaoyan no longer found it of interest and decided to use it as a demonstration. In Xiaoyan's mind, the method Yao Lao once mentioned about refining a body resurfaced. With another wave of his hand, an invisible gust of wind lifted the corpse, causing it to hover in midair. Then, Xiaoyan conjured a flame in the form of a glazed lotus, which enveloped the corpse. Under the flame's terrifying heat, the ice on the corpse quickly melted and evaporated. Xiaoyan called out, "Yao Lao, give me a bit of soul power." A wisp of soul power split off from Tian Huo Zun Zhe's brows and floated toward Xiaoyan, who grasped it and sent it into the corpse. He then tossed the Yin-Yang life soul pill to Tian Huo Zun Zhe and said, "Swallow it. When I give the signal, enter the body immediately." Without hesitation, Tian Huo Zun Zhe swallowed the pill, his eyes flickering with excitement. Xiaoyan quickly took out a jade bottle filled with purple-red blood that emanated violent energy, the blood essence of the heaven-poisoned scorpion dragon beast. He shattered the bottle, allowing the blood to spill out, and sprinkled it onto the flame-wrapped corpse. As the blood made contact, it sizzled, and the corpse's skin began to rot rapidly. Xiaoyan wasn't surprised by the change. Instead, he increased the intensity of the flame. As the temperature rose, the blood on the corpse slowly seeped into the body. The once pale skin and muscles began to regain vitality as the blood merged in. About half an hour later, with the blood fully absorbed, Yunshan's tightly shut eyes suddenly opened. In his hollow gaze, a faint sign of life appeared. Though this was due to Tian Huo Zun Zhe's soul wisp, rather than Yunshan's original life force. As Yunshan's eyes opened, Xiaoyan shouted, "Yao Lao, now!" Hearing the shout, Tian Huo Zun Zhe shivered, his body becoming ethereal as he rushed toward the corpse. Just before his soul made contact, a strange black and red ripple radiated from the center of his brows, spreading like lightning and engulfing his entire body. This time, the collision did not repel his soul. Instead, it slowly merged within. Watching the soul integrate with the body, Xinlan and Xiao Yixian cheered. "It's working." However, Xiaoyan solemnly shook his head. "Not yet. Yao Lao must withstand the flames burning and gradually gain control over the body. Only then can he truly be reborn from the ashes. If Tian Huo Zun Zhe cannot endure the flame, both the body and his soul will be destroyed." For 3 days, the burning continued. Xiaoyan gazed at the hovering corpse in the flames, its face twisted in pain, clenching his fists slowly. "You must withstand the flames burning." In the distance, the once quiet valley remained shrouded in tension as the process unfolded. A faint sound of wind breaking suddenly echoed through the valley. An old man in white holding a snake staff slowly appeared at the entrance. With a smile, he looked into the valley and said, "Finally, I've found it." Xiao Yixian's delicate face instantly turned solemn. Seeing this, Xinlan was startled and quickly asked, "What's wrong?" Xiao Yixian's eyes gleamed with coldness, and a faint killing intent emanated from her as she responded, "The people from Ice River Valley are here." Xinlan's face changed dramatically at the news. She glanced outside the valley and could faintly see some white figures approaching. Just then a faint elderly voice echoed from afar, "So, you're the venomous poison lady?" The space at valley's entrance rippled, and the skeletal figure of the old man holding the snake staff appeared before Xiao Yixian. As the two stared at each other, many white-clad figures neatly landed behind the old man. Xiao Yixian's expression turned cold as she clenched her jade-like hand, saying, "As expected, a peak dozong expert. Ice River Valley is truly impressive." The old man glanced at her and smiled slightly, saying, "For the venomous poison lady, it's not too much for an old man like me to take action. According to the rules of Ice River Valley, anyone who kills our elders must be captured and severely punished." Behind Xiao Yixian, Xinlan quickly whispered, "That's Ice River Valley's elder Tian She." Xiao Yixian frowned, her expression shifting slightly. Even though she hadn't been in the Central Plains for long, she had heard of him. It was said that not only was Tian She extremely powerful, but he had also mastered Ice River Valley's frost energy to an extraordinary degree, making him a fearsome opponent. Ordinary Duzong cultivators were no match for him, and his frost energy was so dominant that he could freeze his opponents into lifelike ice sculptures. His reputation was widely known and feared in the Central Plains. Xiao Yixian hadn't expected Ice River Valley to send such a formidable elder for this task. Tianxi coldly laughed. "Is it just you two? I remember there was also a young man and a decent soul body. Let them come out as well. Today, no one will escape, or I won't be able to answer to the Valley Master." Xiao Yixian sneered, "I'm afraid you lack the ability." Tianxi touched a brown scar behind his ear, a chilling light flashing in his murky eyes, as he said, "The last time I fought someone with the venomous poison body, I can't remember when it was, but I remember him vividly. Today, let me see how far this generation's venomous poison body can go." Hearing this, the 3 white-robed elders exchanged glances but dared not speak. They had been terribly defeated by a cultivator with the venomous poison body in the past, and it left a deep scar in Tianxi's mind. Xiao Yixian's face grew colder. She glanced subtly into the valley, clenching her hands tightly, but there was still no movement. Tian Huo Zun Zhe's body fusion had not yet finished. She could only stall for time and hope that Xiaoyan would speed up. Taking a deep breath, her eyes flashed with determination. Nearby, Di Yao stomped fiercely on the ground and charged directly at Tianxi, with Xiao Yixian quickly following suit. Xiao Yixian swiftly caught up, her douqi transforming into 2 gray douqi serpents. With a swift swoosh, they tore through the air, charging straight toward Tianxi. As Di Yaokui approached, Tianxi smiled faintly and remarked, "So, this is the puppet? It is indeed extraordinary. But a true peak dozong cannot be overpowered by sheer numbers." His withered hand clenched slowly, causing the space in front of Diaokui to twist and form a barrier. When Diaokui's strike landed on the space barrier, the rebounding force sent him flying backward. Tianxi repelled Diaokui with ease, raising his claw and grabbing toward Xiao Yixian. A giant claw made of cold energy crushed her gray douqi serpents, shattering them into pieces. A cold smile appeared on Tianxi's face as he suddenly appeared before Xiao Yixian and struck fiercely. Under the terrifying cold energy, Xiao Yixian felt her douqi becoming sluggish, and her face changed instantly. She released a dense surge of gray douqi, but when the giant icy claw collided with it, the cold energy shattered her defense. Before Xiao Yishan could retreat, the massive force struck her, and she coughed up blood, crashing into the mountain wall like a broken kite. The peak Dozong's strength was overwhelming. In just one round, Xiao Yishan was defeated. After crushing her with one strike, Tianxi smiled faintly, preparing to pursue her when a silver figure fearlessly charged at him again. Diao Kui. Tianxi's eyes revealed a hint of disdain as he formed an icy fist on his arm, clashing with Diao Kui's strike. The collision created a powerful shockwave that rippled through the air. Tianxi sneered coldly, twisting his arm in a snake-like motion to redirect the force back onto Diao Kui. The shockwave spread out and Diao Kui's chest caved in with a half-finger deep indentation. Despite being lifeless and feeling no pain, Diao Kui was sent crashing deep into the mountain wall. Tianxi glanced at the fallen Xiao Yishan and sneered, "Compared to the venomous poison body of the past, you're much weaker now. Come back with me to Ice River Valley, and you may have a chance to live. Otherwise, your fate won't be better than the others." Xiao Yishan's face grew colder as she wiped the blood from her lips, preparing to unleash the seal on her venomous poison body. Suddenly, a clear voice echoed from within the valley. "I don't think going back to Ice River Valley is necessary. This Luoshen Valley will be a fine burial ground for your old bones." Tianxi's smile froze, his gaze darkening as he looked toward the valley's entrance. Two figures slowly emerged, and when the experts from Ice River Valley saw Tian Huo Zun Zhe, their faces showed astonishment and shock. The killing intent in the air instantly dissolved. As Xiaoyan saw the blood at the corner of Xiao Yishan's mouth, his expression grew even darker. However, Xiaoyan's smile was filled with killing intent and coldness. Tianxi's expression darkened as he glanced at Xiaoyan and then snorted coldly, his gaze shifting toward Tian Huo Zun Zhe. Although Tian Huo Zun Zhe had not spoken since his arrival, the subtle oppressive aura emanating from his body made Tianxi's heart tighten. It was a sensation he had only felt from the Valley Master of Ice River Valley and another powerful elder, both true Dozun experts. This seemingly ordinary old man was undoubtedly a Dozun as well. Recognizing him as the same 8-star Dozong soul body from before, Tianxi quickly regained his composure and respectfully cupped his hands toward Tian Huo Zun Zhe, saying, "My friend, we can overlook the fact that you killed our Ice River Valley elder, but we cannot let these people go. I hope you can give face to our Valley Master." Before he could finish, Tian Huo Zun Zhe glanced at Xiaoyan and smiled. "I don't know your Valley Master, so I don't see why I should give him face." Tianxi's face darkened further. The Ice River Valley elders gradually recovered from their initial shock, looking in disbelief at the old man standing behind Xiaoyan. As Dozong experts, they understood the terror of a Dozun. While their expressions fluctuated, Tian Huo Zun Zhe chuckled, "I know you're not a good person, and I'm also someone who repays grudges. Since you've injured people, you'll naturally have to pay for it." He turned to Xiaoyan and said, "Leave it to me." Xiaoyan nodded slightly, taking 2 steps back with Xiao Yishan in tow, muttering, "Since Ice River Valley has sent this gift, we'll accept it." Tian Huo Zun Zhe nodded with a smile as the space around him began to ripple with vast energy. Seeing this, Tianxi's gaze darkened even more, and he slammed his snake staff down hard, saying, "Friend, do you really want to become an enemy of Ice River Valley? Don't think that just because you're a Dozun, you can act with impunity. Ice River Valley has never feared anyone." Ignoring the threats, Tian Huo Zun Zhe's aura grew stronger and stronger. Realizing Tian Huo Zun Zhe wasn't backing down, a flash of coldness crossed Tianxi's eyes. Though Dozun experts were powerful, Tianxi wasn't one to retreat easily. Calling out to the Ice River Valley members, he commanded, "All Ice River Valley members, form the Dragon Mystical Array." At his command, the members quickly spread out, forming an intricate formation. Tianxi stood at the center of the array, as bone-chilling cold energy erupted from their heads, converging in the sky and surrounding him. His eyes blazed with fury as his hand rapidly formed seals, creating dazzling after-images. The chilling energy gathered together, preparing to unleash its power. A massive icy dragon, over 100 meters long, slowly materialized in the sky. As soon as it appeared, Tianxi and all the members of Ice River Valley turned pale. Xiaoyan looked up at the dragon, frowning slightly, and muttered, "As expected of Ice River Valley, they even have such a powerful formation, but it looks like the cost to use it is steep." Tian Huo Zun Zhe hovered in the sky, gazing at the icy dragon with restrained killing intent in his eyes. This icy dragon was formed by combining the Douqi and even the blood essence of everyone here. Its power surpasses the peak of an ordinary Dozong, he observed. Tianxi, staring closely at Tian Huo Zun Zhe, spoke, "My friend, if you leave now, Ice River Valley will still treat you as an honored guest." Tian Huo Zun Zhe replied calmly. Empty threats. A cold light flashed in Tianxi's eyes as he pointed sharply at Tian Huo Zun Zhe, and the icy dragon let out a deafening roar. Its massive jaws opened, releasing an enormous blast of icy breath that shot toward Tian Huo Zun Zhe like lightning. As the icy blast approached, Tian Huo Zun Zhe casually waved his hand, tearing the space before him like thin paper. A dark rift appeared, swallowing the icy blast, and with another wave of his hand, the rift vanished. Turning his gaze back to the dragon, Tian Huo Zun Zhe let out a faint hum, distorting the space around the dragon. A black fracture opened, twisting the dragon's body apart and swallowing it into the void. Despite being severed, the icy dragon roared in fury, continuing to charge violently at Tian Huo Zun Zhe. But with a flick of his hand, the space twisted again, and before the dragon could get within 100 meters, its massive body shattered into 4 or 5 pieces, each being consumed by the void. By the time the icy dragon reached Tian Huo Zun Zhe, only its enormous head remained. He reached out, tapped its forehead lightly, and the dragon's head exploded into shards of ice. Like smashing an egg with a rock, he muttered as the icy dragon was utterly destroyed. As the dragon shattered, Tianxie and the others from Ice River Valley instantly turned pale, spitting out blood simultaneously from the immense backlash.